Big news today with the Bitcoin spot ETFs getting approved by the SEC. In this video, I'm going to be going over the last 48 hours of shenanigans about the final approval, as well as why you should care and what it might be doing to the price over the next few days and months. Let's get into it. Before I jump into the news, I want to give a bit of background on Bitcoin and ETFs. So Grayscale's had their GBTC, Bitcoin Closed-End Trust, for over 10 years now. So what's the big news with all these new spot ETFs? Well, the difference here is previously with GBTC, Grayscale held Bitcoin. So you're basically paper trading on their books. Now you could see that they held the Bitcoin, so they did make some of this public, but these spot ETFs are getting much closer to real-time touching of the blockchain. So you should actually see the institutional money coming in and buying these shares affecting the Bitcoin price. Whereas all the futures products and GBTC, all these previous things didn't really touch the chain all the time. So I'm very intrigued to see how this works with the various price actions. I haven't had the time to look through all the different prospectuses to see how the prices are going to move, how often they're going to move in terms of relating to Bitcoin, because Bitcoin trades 24/7. So the US stock market is definitely not open 24/7. So I'm very intrigued to see how that is going to all flush out. If there's going to be arbitrage opportunities, I presume the large institutions are going to suck them up. So the last 36 hours have been really interesting because someone SIM swapped the SEC's Twitter account. So they didn't hack Twitter and they didn't hack the SEC. They did social engineering to get access to the phone number that was the recovery number for the SEC's Twitter account and posted as the SEC saying the Bitcoin ETFs were approved a day ahead of schedule. And then the SEC chairman, Gary Gensler, came out and said that was fake. And everyone found that incredibly ironic because he literally had posted something quite recently about Cybersecurity Awareness Month and having multi-factor authentication, which would have precluded that entire ordeal. But it was very interesting to watch what happened to the price during that little fiasco because there was a big rip up and then a big dump. And then after the two news stories happened, it kind of came back and it just kind of petered along for the day. Then there was another flub with the announcement today. I don't know where this person found this SEC PDF link, but somebody posted on Twitter the announcement ahead of time. And the link that got all over Twitter was an SEC page, but it was a 404 page, so it was a not found. But somebody did post a Wayback Machine showing that that page did in fact have that announcement on it. So it just has not been a very good look for the SEC the last 36 hours. And I'm very intrigued to see what happens, especially because the different SEC commissioners are coming out with some very different views on what's going to happen with crypto going forward. I implore you to go look at Hester Pierce's post on the SEC website talking about how the SEC has not been doing right by the investor for the last 10 years when it comes to approving these products faster and instead doing regulation by litigation, which has been the norm the last few years. So I think she's got a very good head on her shoulders, and I really hope that she takes over here soon. Why is this Bitcoin spot ETF approval such a big deal? Well, it's because there's literally trillions of dollars under management at these large institutions that haven't had more direct access to Bitcoin, and this is going to make it much more approachable for people to trade Bitcoin in their retirement accounts. So all this money flowing in over the next few days into these ETFs is going to be super interesting. All I really think is going to happen is lots of volatility. It could be both ways. Obviously, I would prefer if the prices go up, but not everybody does because there's people betting against all this to go well. So what do you think is going to happen? I would love a comment below if you think things are going to go to the moon or if you think they're going to zero and it's over. So what's going to happen next with these Bitcoin spot ETFs? Well, I expect a lot of money to be flowing into them and I'm intrigued to see how they all perform over the coming days. I also have my eyes on the next ETF approval cycle, which is going to be more focused around Ethereum spot ETFs, which is currently slated for May. But I expect that process to be very dependent on the next few weeks and if there's any further shenanigans with the Bitcoin spot ETFs. If you stay with me this long, you should consider joining my social engineer network using the links below. There you'll meet lots of like-minded people, and we love to nerd out about crypto. I hope to see you inside.